Hey, muy buenas noches, everyone. I hope everybody's doing well, blessed, and enjoying family. And as always, muchísimas gracias to everyone for your guys' words, prayers, and your amazing support. De corazón se los agradezco. Now, to get into the story on hand, today I want to talk about, one of my homies. He's not from my generation, but his tias are, right? But anyways, just to put a little backtrack on him, he's Danny from Hasser's sobrino or long distance sobrino, something like that. Regardless, they carry the same name, right? Last name. That's actually his placazo. And anyways, P, when I was sitting up there in the bay, he was making a lot of noise. He did time. He did about 5, 10, up to 10 years, into different terms, and he eventually paroled from Calipad and he went down to Tijuas. Now, knowing his jefitos and tias and all that, right? They've been always known for being good at moving work, right? So they had a lot of property when it came to in Tijuas and in Michoacan, where they're originally from, or at least the jefes. And within time he got to Tijuas, he settled in and he started doing his thing, and he was doing it right. You know, whatever he was doing it, right? And again, I'm sitting up there and I'm hearing, because as I mentioned to you guys, I had solid homegirls that stood with me throughout my whole term, and of course, by the time I got out, they married some to my homeboys, and you know, they went about their life, right? And I went about being my stupid self in Mexico. But anyways, he was one of the main suppliers when it came into my town. I'm talking about back then. Ahorita I don't even have, I guess who it might be, right? But anyways, and again, I was in touch with quite a few of my camaradas, right? From childhood, homegirls. So I was aware, but again, by this time I had already learned that bringing them into the play was more harmful than it was beneficial for the neighborhood, right? So I had already came to the terms that, I opened that window for them and they have to build their own thing, right? Because, well, for me, there was nobody before me, so it was doable. I don't know if it makes sense. But anyways, he set it shop in Tijuas and he started, bringing across candy, and Tijuas is a really tricky place, right? For one, cause the ardillas or arellanos, they're backstabbers, just being sincere, and everyone in Mexico is, but them specifically are worse, right? In my opinion. But nevertheless, he played it off the right way. Something that Mexico has is that, if your movement is across that border, you're able to go by and do your thing, being well aware that if you sell in Mexico and you step on toes, that's your butt. And in this case, with them, whoever was related to you, right? But Anyways, that never happened, you know. Homie's business was over that border and wherever he was doing it at, you know, it wasn't just my town, you know, it was in the area, different spots, right? But, you know, as all of us are aware, you know, it comes a time that, you know, greed comes into effect. Let's just be sincere. I don't think there's a human being that can control that urge to want more, right? To expand. It's just never enough, you know. I think it just comes with human beings. But anyways, he eventually, however he did, reached out to Danny Boy Pena and the Pili from Hazard. Of course, you know, even if by here they were living in two parts of California, however it played out, regardless, there was a promise there for his benefit, right? So he received him as, you know, mijo, ¿dónde has estado? You know, that type of running drag, right? Now, this is just me though, right? I wasn't there for this, so anyways, they start doing their thing about what about a year that I'm sitting up there in Pelican Bay. Um, they're doing their thing tough, you know, and the homie started picking up strength, lots of it. So, you know, eventually he expanded to Chico, and at first it was for me personally, but you know, me quedé callado. It was a no-no for reasons that I personally don't agree with Chico, right? But again, he was in that spot where we couldn't voice him. And anyways, he started doing his thing down in Lowe's, you know, specifically in Hazard. Who else from Hazard was there? You know, I only knew of these two Pilis, at least at this time. Again, a year goes by, and as I have mentioned in past stories, you know, the city, yeah, there is camaradas in touch then and now with certain Pilis, right? But politics don't play out like that. You know, hood business is hood business, and of course, you know, los respetos ahí están, you know. But it is, with us at least, what it should have been, right? Which is prison business is prison business. Barrio business is barrio business, right? But anyways, you know, within time, homie was able to do his thing stronger, right? So he started picking up the estilo of Mexico, you know, just keeping it above, which in Mexico, all that, you know, eres esto, eres otro, you know, their main thing is being disloyal, be trained to move forward, working with Popo to get ahead, you know, them type of things. So he started blending in with that, you know. It's why I have mentioned before, you know, it don't matter how good a person is, eventually it starts eating at a person, right? Certain things that you're wiggling around of. But there was complaints, you know, my homegirls would visit and they would tell me like, hey, ¿qué onda con este cabrón? You know, peace. There's a bunch of dropouts in town. You know, there's a lot of northern riders, right? And homie was supplying them. So now when you look at it from a point of view of, you know, they're not only dropouts, per se, they're an organization, right? And you're supporting this organization to pick up strength by supplying them, getting them prices, and I did understand that at this time he was it was getting some fire contact, got some some fire material, right? That everybody used to say it, and I understood he had the means to expand, right? But when you do it as a loyal camarada and you're touching those that are supposed to uphold what they take so many people's careers, then it should be a problem. Ain't no money in the world supposed to make you bend that, right? At least from the outside looking at things, right? So, when it was happening in town, I just told everybody, just aguanten vara. If you're not okay with how he's doing things, like Stu, make sure you look for a different angle. So that happened, and different neighborhoods in town started messing with him, which in reality it was no problem. Like, for example, norteños. In the end of the day, they were norteños, but they were solid, right? And our police, and the police that we're supposed to uphold. You ain't a rata, you didn't go out sideways, you didn't testify, things like that. And anyways, at one point, Northern Riders, they got pretty big in town, right? To the point where they were challenging neighborhoods. And it was a mix of things, ex norteños, ex sureños, ex woods. It was something, right? But again, I kept my mugshot, right? And just allowed them to do their thing, because I was well aware that you get in between their money making by uprising something that's going to jeopardize it. You best believe, if not on the spot, in the near future, you're gonna get a reaction from them in a negative way. But as I mentioned too before, I have a lot of family in San Ho, so the homie started working hand in hand with a homie from San Ho, and started reaching out there. And next thing you know, he was touching the Northern Riders out there too. And now it at least to me, right, it became a problem, because you're not only doing it here, right, but you're expanding or supporting their causa, right? And up north, it wasn't like they weren't against just norteños, right? There was a lot of ex-sureños that joined these factions up north. So, one day I struck up in a mobile, and not in a sense of telling or having any negative come to this vato, because I understood if that happened, I was going to shut the doors on the Beelies, right? But I got a D from Hazard, and I told him, hey, con todo respeto, nomás quería and make you aware of this, and that, and I put everything on the table. And the reaction I got from him was real clear, on how, as I state, ain't nothing you do gonna hold any value. I recently seen a video from somebody, and it's facts. I've told you guys ever since I got on here, whatever you do on the street, whatever you do in one pinta, it ain't gonna have no type of meaning in the next yard to the next individual. Which this was the case, right? I told him, and I told him I didn't want no negative to come to the camarada. It was just more on making him aware of what was happening. And the response I got was, and if it ain't a problem with us, why is it a problem with you? Con eso, it was all I needed to hear, right? And I straight up said, you know what, you're right, discúlpeme. And it would not be brought up again, Cause I was straight coward, right? I should have had some backbone and be like, but I didn't, cause that's going against everything I seen and believe, or at least thought things should be. When it comes to raza, norteños, sureños, they're quick to cut someone's jugular or take them out of the movement for petty stuff. Let's be sincere. You loosen them a pill. Now not every pill is going to take your career for an pill, but a lot of them will. You know, you name it. The thing is, on today's life, someone said it, there used to be certain steps you had to take to ruin someone's good career, prison wise, right? Now it's just them to say, go ahead and give them another smile, and you're done. Nobody's gonna question it. I would eventually get some palabras out there to pee, and you know, he told me that it didn't matter no more. That basically that he had these individuals when it came to members, right, from our side, in his pocket. They were going to stay quiet and they were going to basically do what he wanted. You see, everyone paints his pictures that these individuals to the spot are going to uphold what they speak of. But those that have been with them in Mexico, moved with them, they know that's a lie to the dot. Every word, every letter of that is a lie. They do what they're told. The shameful part is they make camaradas or raza underneath them do what they say. Minimize them. Take out their frustration on them with no reason. The reason why you're speaking on homeboy because he's not actively in that no more. Because one of his close associates, it's Mexico, right? Felt he could do things without him, and when they were walking up to his apartment in TJ, boned him 3 times in the head. And there went that, right? And yes, at first, it was Chico this time, right, that slowed him down, so he put him on that lista, the vato that took out Danny's sobrino, right? But he would eventually start putting Halle across that border and resume the more program. Nothing ever happened. You see, I do understand what people say. It's all about making money. That's understandable. But when everything you mislead people to think things are, and then when somebody, bounces out of that, stab them, and if they come out again, stab them again, and have him go and call them words when they go, without even thinking it. But, you're able to say, you do as I say, not as I'm doing, then there's something very wrong. But, I guess when it comes to Chico, that's been like that from the gate, right? Because he's a known, you guys know, nothing ever happened, right? Because I guess in their days, it was common for them to do that, right, with minors. It was common for them to get a young homie, camarada, from a neighborhood and ábrete, ahí te voy, and pimp him out to other men. Y si no, but these are the rituals that camaradas are constantly going through the headaches. Now, in no way, shape, or form am I defending anybody that will go sideways and talk out their neck or even take that extra step, right, to hurt in that fashion. All I'm trying to say is, wise up. Don't give your life away. Don't give those moments away. There's lots of things that can happen any minute, any second. You're here 1 second, you might slip and be gone the next, right? But there's no need for you to give everything up. Go sit down, go through the heartaches, the pain, and come to realize that you got babu, you got fooled, you got lied to. And then, it will hit, believe me, it will hit that, that you got lied to. I'll just leave it like that. But anyways, mi gente, we just finished alive. I just wanted to put a story together for you guys. You know, I got a real good story about Danny, and you guys will see why it was it was something to be like, damn, really? On his actions, right? But tomorrow I got my first appointment at 6 in the morning, so I hope everybody rests as well. Please stay true to yourself and loyal to your loved ones. Buenas noches.